Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching WY TV. You're welcome to another edition of News Review. And you know how we do it. This is where we talk about the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. My name is Ahmed Abbas or Latonji, but you can call me Sidonji, and I'm in the studio with...
I'm Ambassador Rochimi Orilua, son of the prophetess, the man where is Wiki.
You know, it's a new year, and I do tell you guys you should try Nokpa today because Nokpa Abbas is the sponsor for this show. Nokpa Abbas that produces Nokpa Abba Bitter, Abba Flusher, Abba Tonic, Abba Cool. And you can as well be one of our sponsors. You can call the number you're seeing on your screen. I will get that to you from our marketing department as soon as possible. I'll be starting with Punch newspaper today. Lawmakers budget fresh 30 billion naira for National Assembly renovation. MDCN stops doctors from shunning patients during strike. We have no fake professors, Babcock University. Anambra boat accident caused by blockage on water channel, NIWA. Then on Vanguard newspaper, use carrot and stick method to check terrorism, Afenifere urges Tinubu. Dangote explains assure stakeholders. Taraba government reintroduces history subject in basic schools. Nigeria records increase in Lassa fever in 2023, NCDC. Lagos government vows crackdown on illegal buildings. Bandits place 30 million naira ransom on 7 family members abducted in Abuja. 585 million scandal. Sack better Edo. Save Nigerians' democracy. Adeyanju to Tinubu. Enugu Senator Eze denies receiving palliative from constituents. These are the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. We're going on a short commercial break. When we're back, we talk more on some of the headlines. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere.
When life breaks into the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. Your family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Abba Mixture, your family's best bet. With Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
Nokpa for management of power.
Right, you welcome back from that short commercial break. And this is News Review, where we talk about the headlines of the newspapers of today. So the first headline today is Afenifere trying to urge Tinubu to use his sense to make sure the terrorism in Nigeria is being reduced. But
well, let me say it's a welcome idea from the Afenifere. If you could see what is going on in the country now, in fact, the insecurity is increasing day by day, and nobody is safe out there. So if the Afenifere is coming out to say this, automatically they are not biased. And the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should use his veto power at least to curb the insecurity in the land.
Well, there's an adage that was being used by the Afenifere here. They said, use carrot and stick method to check terrorism. So as an elderly person, I want you to shed more light.
When they said to him that you use carrot, I believe the Afenifere knows the meaning of what they are saying. What is the meaning of that? Was that they should go? You should go into the matter deeply, at least to go to the grassroots of the matter. What caused the terrorism in Nigeria and kidnapping here and there? At least, if Tinubu said he has been serving them for the past 30 years, I believe he should know where the problem lies.
That is the word from an elderly person. The Pan-Yoruba Social, Cultural and Political Organization, Afenifere, has called on President Bola Tinubu to use the carrot and stick method to check the growing rate of kidnapping and terrorism in the country. The Reuben Fasonati faction, which made the call in a statement in Ibadan, Oyo State, expressed concern over crimes in Plateau, Benue, Kogi, Borno, Sokoto, Niger, Ondo, Katsina, and Rivers State recently. He highlighted some flashpoints where crime rates are rife, adding that in the last week of the year, detachments of security agencies were in Igbeti and Shepeteri, Okeogun, Oyo State to thwart the plan by suspected bandits to unleash terror in the area. People of Akoko and Igbaraoke, etc. in Ondo State, are afraid of armed herdsmen, just as residents of some parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, are now living in fear of kidnappers. Sir, do you know that as of last week, or let's say since December 20, before Christmas, till this time, people staying in Abuja and the environment, they are scared to even go out of infested period
right
time.
at the Federal Capital.
Exactly. There are a lot of bandits there.
So where the president live, automatically, if that is happening in Abuja now, where is safe in Nigeria? Nowhere that is safe in Nigeria. If we could go into the root of this matter, if this terrorism of the case, automatically with what I'm seeing, it may have the hand of the government inside it. Because if you could recall, when the election that voted President Muhammadu, the ex-president, President Muhammadu Buhari in, what was his statement then? He said a statement that needs to be checkmated, and nobody is saying anything about it. That if he didn't win the election, automatically he's going to make the government of Jonathan unbearable for him. And nobody is saying anything about the statement.
Well, since the motives are not the same, strategies to tackle them too must be stratified in a manner that will be appropriate for the particular ones being dealt with. Of course, there can be extrapolation as some of those acts of terrorism can be interrelated. For instance, those who set house ablaze could be doing so for both economic and territorial reasons, and so on. Meetings should be convened with local leaders, representatives of youth, religious bodies, artisans, including representatives of identified marauders in the areas where those unfortunate incidents are taking place, should also be invited to meetings. At such meetings, a carrot and stick approach has to be employed. Yes. Yeah. Now, I think I understand what Afenifere is trying to bring out here, because, you know, there cannot be smoke without fire.
Without fire,
that is, if they should call people that are staying in one community, call the leaders of those communities together, talking about the religious leaders in those communities, artisans, different heads of departments in that community. If they should have a roundtable talk with them, at least they will find solutions.
Do you know how many of that has been done in different parts of the country? At the end of the day, nothing happened. This bandits of the case, these are the people that we are talking of. You could recall a news that flies almost last week, that some set of people gather themselves, which they call themselves to be a bandit. That if you want to go to your family, get some amount of money that the villagers are going to pay inside the same Federal Republic of Nigeria. Some transporters are applying through those rules. They know they have some amount of money that they are going to pay to those people for them to be able to carry out their daily activities.
That's true.
And nobody is saying anything about it.
But it's only God that can help us in this country, because even in Abuja, where our president is staying, so many government officials
The
are there
president
in
and the
Abuja.
government officials are said based on the security they have there. But it's only those people that don't have security. The only thing that can bring solution to this is let everybody have access to gun. When you have access to gun, anybody that is coming to kidnap you or to do any whatsoever was a source of rubbish to you, they will know that the person that they are going to meet may have something to use to defend himself.
As an elderly person, I didn't expect you to say this kind of thing, because
listen to me. It will come to a stage where where this will be the solution. Now, those terrorists that are coming with guns, who gave them those guns that they were using?
Exactly my point.
Who gave them those guns?
Sir,
how did they get access to those guns?
I understand you, but
somebody might have been in high places in hierarchy that has been fueling them.
I understand what you're trying to say. I understand your point, and I know where you're coming from. But what I'm trying to say is, I wanted to talk about what you said, that the only thing that can
somebody made a suggestion last week that let everybody have access to guns. So far, you have the money to buy your gun, to purchase your gun. You go through the normal channel. When you get your gun, anybody that's coming to meet you will know.
Sir, getting gun is not a problem.
What's the problem? The solution should have come from the federal government. Since the federal government is not saying, how many perpetrators are being arrested since the kidnapping and since killing of innocent souls in Nigeria?
Sir, once everybody have their gun in Nigeria, just know that we are just starting. Like, it will not reduce anything, any criminality.
Okay, can you tell me what's the way forward now? When the government that are in charge are supposed to take a good measure about it, are not saying anything about it. You know a video that flies, the news that went viral, where a military man came out to accuse the prison official of jeopardizing their effort. When they go into Sambisa forest, terrorists were being arrested, Boko Haram were being arrested. At the end of the day, handed over to the right authority. Boko Haram will be inside the prison, colliding with the prison official, going out to kidnap and using their bank accounts as a way of collecting ransom.
Sir, you got a point. I know you have your points. But what I'm trying to say is, there's a Yoruba adage that says, like, you cannot say because there is a lot of terrorism act in Nigeria, the only solution to it is everybody having their gun with them. Even with the fact that we know that we Nigerians, not even Africa, we Nigerians, we have anger issues. Just ordinary, because we have access to gun. Ordinary husband and wife misunderstanding.
There
we see them shooting themselves.
There is anger issue all over the world. USA that have access to gun, we have anger issue.
Sir, it is not everyone that has access to gun in the US.
Most especially their women. You know, their women were the one taking their fears, ruling over the men.
Sir,
men can't just molest women anyhow in US.
But we don't have that kind of rule here. We don't have rules here.
The way we have here in Nigeria, that men have the upper hand. In US, men, you see, there is anger issue all over the world.
Or even with that, sir, in US that you are talking about, you cannot just carry gun anyhow in US. It is not everybody that has access to the gun. If you have license to,
it's everybody.
Sir, it's not everybody.
It's everybody. So far, go and go eat. So far, you have your money to buy the gun. You have access to it. Because there are the only thing you can talk is there are some set of training that you need to go through before you can have access to.
You can say that in US because they have a working system and they have a working government.
But Nigeria, we don't have.
There is corruption in US too, but not like them not following the normal rule of law.
No, you are not talking in USA now. Do you see any bandit that the way bandit is being rampant in Nigeria? Do you see that in US? Because they have a good working system and they have a good leader.
Well, let's move on to the next headline, which is Taraba government introduces history subjects in basic schools. The Taraba government has announced plans to reintroduce history as a subject in the basic education curriculum in schools in the state. Governor Agbu Kefas made this known when he hosted journalists at the dinner in Jalingo yesterday. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that history was removed from primary and secondary education curricula in the 2009-2010 academic session. NAN also reported that in November 2022, the federal government reintroduced history as a standalone subject in the basic education curriculum in Nigeria. 13 years after its abolition, History, he said, has a connection with the development of any society. No society will truly develop without its inhabitants having a good knowledge of their history. That is why we will introduce history studies in our primary and secondary schools in the state to lay a solid foundation for accelerated development, he said. So what can you say about this?
It's a welcome idea if it's going to be useful in future, because when you look at the education system in Nigeria today, it's nowhere to be found. While we have many graduates out there that have graduated over 5-7 years at the end of the day, nothing to be reckoned of or nothing to do. You could recall when President Muhammadu Buhari was here, he said that the youth or the graduates should not expect anything from the government, that they should think of what to do by themselves.
Well, this is not even the problem now. We are not talking about the future, what you are going to use education to do. Now we are talking about what you are going to implant in those kids, that what they will assimilate right from kid, that will make them to grow well, knowing the history of their background.
Idea. Even knowing history in Nigeria now today, if care is not taken, you just die. Because when you put history on earth, at the end of the day, people that are in high caliber, that are in power, they will tell you, go and sit down with your history. Do you know how many people that are out there sitting down at eating the national cake that are not even graduates? Why we have graduates roaming about the street?
Well, the governor also said that in no time, primary school teachers in the state must be first degree holders, while secondary school teachers must have a minimum of master's degree to enhance the quality of education in the state. He urged journalists to monitor the implementation of the state government's free education policy in primary and secondary schools to ensure that all the school administrators were doing the right thing. While commending journalists for their objective reportage so far, KEFAS pledged to renovate the press center in Jalingo and also provide operational vehicles to the various groups under the Nigerian Union of Journalists. Sir, let's talk about this, what the governor said here. He said the primary school teachers should be first degree holder, while secondary school teachers should at least have master's degree. That's the new innovation. I wanted to ask, okay, what is going to happen to ND holder? What is going to happen to NCE holders? So when you know that you will not be able to be employing people that has these degrees as a result, so you should not have encouraged these schools, this level of education in the first place.
There is a proverb that says the anointing flows from the earth. It should start from the government parastatals down to the lead. That should be a good hand, because when you say you want to do something, you should always live by example.
Yes, sir, but you cannot judge that, because we have a constitution, and the constitution, there is a certain level you get to before you can go for ordinary councillor or chairman.
Does that really applicable to those people that are in North, in the northern part of the country? We have many people out there that are said that are primary schools that have first school living certificate holder. We have many councillors there, many chairmans there that are drop out from the secondary school, and they are holding a high post in the government parastatals. So what are you saying?
Well, speaking, Mr. Danjuma Adamu, the immediate past Taraba Commissioner for Information, urged the state government to treat journalists as partners in progress. Also speaking, Ajia Zainab Jalingo, the State Commissioner for Information, called for continued partnership with journalists to serve the people of the state better. So, sir, now what they are trying to tell us now is people that went to school to study, what I'm even looking at is if they want to make the education sector of this Nigeria to be balanced, they should know that there are some people that are meant to teach. Yeah. Those are the people that went to University of Education, College of Education, people that went to Teachers College. You know, we have a lot of people that's their field. Not like you get into a school whereby you will see Nigeria has gotten the spoiled to the extent that you will see someone that studied Yoruba, you see them working in the bank at the counter. You see someone that studied food science working as a.
There are people up there that can link them, that can bring them into that system. Like you see, when you are talking about the Constitution of Nigeria, does the Constitution of Nigeria really works? A constitution that favors the rich, that doesn't favor the poor.
That's true.
Is that the constitution that we have? A constitution must be balanced. When you look at the, okay, now, there was a video that went viral that Governor Sanwo-Olu arrested an army. Isn't it? For applying one way.
Yes.
The governor himself has been one of the persons that has been working through one way.
That's his route. That's his route.
Now look at the United States of America. If there is an hold up and their president is coming, they will all be together in that hold up till the hold up is gone. But here in Nigeria, we believe some set of people believe they are above the law, or they will tell you they are on a special duty. They are going on a special duty. They don't have to wait because of the time.
If it was you that was having a pregnant woman in your car,
and you wanted
to get to the hospital,
they will see
that as an official
assignment. So are you now telling me that the constitution of Nigeria is working for the whole Nigeria? It favors the rich. It doesn't favor the poor.
Well, I saw a video whereby one of the lawmakers was arguing on the house saying the constitution must be changed. Yes. He's not even amending. He said they should change the whole constitution because
it's not really working. But because some set of people are benefiting from it, that is why they will not want the constitution to be changed.
Well, let's move on to the last headline of today, which is Bandits place 30 million naira ransom on 7 family members abducted in Abuja.
These are some of those things that we are talking about, the insecurity. These bandits that place how many million naira?
30 million.
30 million naira. I believe they have a location where they are calling from. Now, you saw a video that went viral. They said there's some set of boys, 3 boys like that, were being arrested from, they said they were the one behind this lover and this and that. How did they apprehend them? Based on their social network, media network, and based on their phone
even some people are saying those guys are not
they are not, you know, Nigerian. Why don't they go after those bandits that have been calling?
So there's something I want us to talk about, because I don't really understand. Maybe because I'm not part of the CID department or this police department. I want to know, all these bandits that do collect ransom, if they collect through transfer, at least it accounts.
They don't collect through transfer.
I'm just asking, if they collect through transfer, let's say for assuming
instance,
they collect through transfer, they will be traced with the account number, the networking and all. Now, they collect cash. Now, during the process of taking the cash, at least even if it's just for them to at least try to abduct one.
Nothing was being done. You remember when Babangida was the president of Nigeria during the military regime? He said something about kidnapping or not kidnapping. He said if there is a case of kidnapping, for good 3 days, those set of people were not released. Then, when this Chibos girls was being kidnapped, he mentioned that statement. He said that statement. He said for 3 days, if those kidnappers, if those people that were being kidnapped were not being retrieved, that they should trace it back to the federal government. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you look at the rate of kidnapping in Nigeria now, they see it as a means of business, means of earning more money, of kidnapping people. The same set of people that collected ransom today, tomorrow that does not mean they will not come out when the money is finished to come and kidnap again. I believe one thing, there is a means of communication through those, from the bandit to the family in question. How did they communicate? We have network provider here.
Exactly.
Why we have location? Somebody, when
at least they will call them that, okay, when you are bringing the money.
When the ex-president was there, somebody inside his own house, a student of, for that matter, made a statement that is against the former first lady. What happened? Within a week, the boy was arrested. What happened? He was arrested through his...
He was being traced.
He was being traced. How come the Nigerian president, the Nigerian government with the security personnel are not tracing this bandit to where they are?
Well, abductors have demanded 30 million naira ransom before the release of 7 family members kidnapped in Zuma, Buhari central ward of the federal territory capital, Abuja. It could be recalled that bandits 5 days ago invaded the house of the victims, killed 1 person, while 2 policemen sustained bullet injuries in an attempt to foil the kidnap. According to his source, yesterday, contact was established last Saturday. He said the man who was negotiating with the bandits tried to explain the financial situation in the country, but the bandits leader cut off the call abruptly. The source explained that the bandit leader was here to contact the victim's family again after the initial conversation. So now man in call with the bandit leader was trying to explain to the bandit that you
Where
know
do
what's
you
in
want
the
them
for
to
Nigeria.
they'll get such amount of money? If they would have, if they have such amount of money, would they be living where they went to go and kidnap them?
Well, I just feel normally these bandits, they have informations. They are all around. They are within us. They get to know the kind of family they go into, because there are some people that they've kidnapped and they didn't see anything from their family and they killed them.
They killed them.
Yes, so now they are doing their business wisely. They are going to people that have money and they know that they will surely bring out something.
Even if those people have money, the money they have, I believe they work tirelessly for the money. And the money is not meant for the bandit. That's the rate of the insecurity in the land. The government that are supposed to protect the masses are not protecting the masses. Do you know how many of our security personnel are that they are being attached to all those people that are holding a high caliber office in this nation? Those people that are supposed to work for the masses, to secure the life of the masses, to make sure the life and property of the masses is being secured. At the end of the day, nothing to be right off. I'm now talking about people that we should all have access to God. Now, see it now. Automatically, if we have access to God, it's a do or die affair.
Sir, let me say this. Let's say you have an access to gun and thieves come to your house, like they came to raid you, and you have opportunity to shoot one of the thieves.
Yes.
Do you actually know you are going to blame yourself for shooting that thieves when the Nigerian
because
police...
of the law that we have in the land, Abi? Is that not what you are saying?
Exactly. It's only when you have CCTV camera in your house.
Since I have access to my gun, I have license to my gun. Automatically, I can't just shoot, which means there's some investigation that needed to be carried out to let them know this guy is really a thief.
Sir, you blame yourself for shooting that thief, because I've seen a situation whereby someone was being taken from the roadside because she was having stomach ache, like he was having cramps, and this person took her to the hospital. On getting to the hospital gate,
it's because of the system. It's because of the system we have in Nigeria. It wasn't like that at the foreign country. It's because of the system that is not working.
We can't compare Nigeria to any other country, because here, this is where the law only works for the poor, but not the rich. So let us just see it like that, because it is only when the constitution is being changed that is when we can enjoy this country as a nation. Well, this is where we're going to be ending it on the show today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook at Wisdom Yard Online Television. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for joining us on the show. We'll see you again tomorrow. Be good and be hardworking. Bye.